I found the strongest whiskeys on earth, the kind that makes people add water after one sip. Today we are ranking 8 bottles from strong to strongest. No warm-up bottles, no pretty high proof. Every whiskey on this list is extreme. Quick rule, so we are all on the same page. We are ranking by strength first, meaning proof. Proof is just alcohol strength. In the US system, proof is double the ABV, so 150 proof is 75% alcohol. 160 proof is 80% alcohol. And one more thing, this is not a challenge video. Do not shoot these. If you ever try one, start with a tiny sip, let it sit, add a little water until it tastes good. Water is not cheating. Water is how you unlock flavor. Alright, let's start at number 8. Number 8, Fallen Brothers Hot Zone Hazmat 150 proof. We are starting at 150 proof. That is already 75% alcohol. Most strong whiskeys people brag about are nowhere near this. Hot Zone Hazmat is an American light whiskey, and it's built for one thing: intensity. On the nose, it comes off sweet and friendly, butterscotch, vanilla custard, warm sugar. Then you sip it and the proof reminds you who's in charge. This kind of whiskey is tricky because the first second tastes like dessert, the next second tastes like pure heat, the finish sticks around, it dries your mouth out, and it keeps climbing. How to drink it: tiny pour, let it breathe for a minute, then take the smallest sip you can. If it burns too hard, add a splash of water. Do that and it turns from pain into flavor. Scoreboard check. The list starts at 150 proof, and it gets much worse. Number 7, Nashville Barrel Company 35-year Canadian whiskey, Hazmat, 151.08 proof. Now we go older and stronger. This is a 35-year Canadian whiskey bottled at 151.08 proof. 35 years old and still over 75% alcohol. That sounds impossible until you understand what happened. In certain barrels, in certain storage conditions, water can evaporate faster than alcohol. The barrel slowly concentrates. The whiskey gets stronger, not weaker. The vibe here is mature and heavy. Old oak, dark caramel, maple sweetness, baking spice. It feels like a dessert table inside a wooden cabinet. But at 151 proof, you do not get a soft landing. You get sweet up front, then big oak, then a long, hot finish that keeps going. This is one of those bottles that people do not drink. They examine it, they taste it in tiny sips. They add water slowly and watch it change. If you like deep, old whiskey character, this one is a beast. Number 6, Garrison Brothers Hazmat Private Select, 152.2 proof. Welcome to Texas heat and Texas not. This is a single barrel private select labeled at 152.2 proof. That is 76.1% alcohol. Now, important detail, Garrison Brothers proof can vary barrel to barrel because these are single barrels. So when a barrel hits hazmat level, it becomes a unicorn. The flavor profile is big and bold, lots of oak, lots of brown sugar, dark caramel, spice. And because it's Texas, the barrel influence can feel amplified. More wood, more intensity, more punch. This is also where you really feel the difference between high proof and hazmat. High proof can still feel smooth, hazmat feels concentrated. If you sip it neat, it is like touching a hot pan. Quick contact, instant regret, but with a little water, it opens up and becomes this rich, dessert-like bourbon with serious depth. This is a flex bottle, not because it's expensive, because it's difficult. Number 5, Nashville Barrel Company 35-year Canadian Whiskey Barrel 313, 152.68 proof. We are still in the Nashville Barrel Company universe, because they are basically the kings of ridiculous proof Canadian barrels. This one is another 35-year, but stronger, 152.68 proof. Think about that. A whiskey that old should be mellowing, rounding out, calming down. Instead, it is getting sharper and more intense. Flavor-wise, this is where the old whiskey taste really starts to show. Deep caramel, dark fruit, heavy oak, pipe tobacco vibes, and a finish that feels like it's warming your whole chest. This is not a party whiskey. This is a sit down and respect it whiskey. If you ever see one of these ultra-aged hazmat Canadians, here's the move. Do not judge it by the first sip. Add water and give it a chance. Because at this proof, your taste buds are fighting the alcohol before they can even taste the whiskey. When you dilute it slightly, you can get the real reward. Sweetness, spice, age, complexity. And now we enter the 154 zone. Number 4, Copper Sky Distillery, Buzzed Lightyear, 19-year light whiskey, 154.1 proof. This one is hilarious because the name is playful, but the whiskey is not. 19 years old, 154.1 proof. That is the kind of number that makes people double-check the label. Light whiskey at high proof can be surprisingly sweet because it often carries big vanilla and candy notes even after long aging. So the smell can trick you. Corn sweetness, toasted butterscotch, vanilla, creamy caramel. Then you sip it and it's like the whiskey snaps its fingers and says, focus. At this level, the alcohol can dominate, so again, water is the key. Add a few drops and it can turn into a full dessert profile. Butterscotch, vanilla frosting, toasted sugar, warm spice. This bottle is the perfect example of why people chase hazmat. Not because they want pain, because they want concentrated flavor. It is like whiskey turned into a sauce. And now we're in the top 3. This is where the numbers start feeling fake. Number 3, Jack Daniel's Coy Hill High Proof 2022, up to 155.1 proof. Coy Hill is legendary for one reason. It tastes like Jack Daniel's, but at a proof that feels like it should not exist. The 2022 Coy Hill release had batches going up to 155.1 proof. That is 77.55% alcohol. Here's what makes Coy Hill special. It does not just taste like heat, it has real flavor. It keeps the classic Jack identity. You get sweet notes like caramel and brown sugar. You get that banana bread vibe people always mention with Jack. Then comes the oak. Then comes the spice. Then comes the proof wave that hits late. Coy Hill is dangerous because it smells friendly. It smells like dessert whiskey, and then it punches you. If you want to sip it like a pro, do this. Pour it, then wait. Let it sit in the glass for a minute or two. Smell it again, then a tiny sip. Then decide if you want water. When you add water, the flavor expands. More sweetness, more barrel char, more spice. It becomes a full experience instead of a burn test. Coy Hill is one of the few hazmat-style whiskeys that still feels like a real whiskey, not just a proof trophy. And number 2 is even higher. Number 2, Nashville Barrel Company 34-year Canadian Whiskey Barrel 272, 158.64 proof. This is where things get absurd. 34 years old, 158.64 proof. That is 79.32% alcohol. At this point, you're almost tasting a whiskey concentrate. The nose on bottles like this is intense. Sweet nougat, caramel sauce, sugary fruit notes. Then a wave of old wood like an antique cabinet. The palate is thick and heavy, but the heat is immediate. The trick is to not fight it. Treat it like a science experiment. Small sip, a few drops of water, smell again, sip again. With dilution, these older high-proof Canadians can show insane depth. Maple candy, toffee, dark spice, mature oak. It can feel like a dessert shop and an old library at the same time. This is also a bottle that changes as it sits. The longer it rests in the glass, the more the alcohol vapors calm down. So the last sip can taste better than the first sip. 158.64 proof is nearly the ceiling for most bottles people have ever heard of. But number 1 is the ceiling. Number 1, World Whiskey Society, Wyatt Earp Hazmat Edition 13-year, 164.67 proof. This is the boss, 164.67 proof. That is about 82.3% alcohol. This bottle is commonly talked about as one of the highest proof whiskeys released in modern times, and the label backs it up. At this strength, the smell is sharp. You get sweet notes, but they are wrapped in alcohol vapor, vanilla, oak, dark fruit, then pure intensity. The first sip is not smooth, it is a warning siren. But here's the secret. If you treat it the right way, it can actually taste incredible. Because under the heat there is real whiskey, caramel, toasted oak, dark sweetness, spices that keep building. This is not a bottle you drink fast. This is a bottle you take tiny sips of over a long time, and you absolutely add water if you want to taste what's inside. If you ever wanted to understand what hazmat whiskey really means, this is the definition, and that's the list. Final ranking strong to strongest. Number 8, Fallen Brothers Hot Zone Hazmat 150 proof. Number 7, Nashville Barrel Company 35-year Canadian Hazmat 151.08 proof. Number 6, Garrison Brothers Hazmat Private Select 152.2 proof. Number 5, Nashville Barrel Company 35-year Canadian Barrel 313 152.68 proof. Number 4, Copper Sky Buzzed Light Year 19-year Light Whiskey 154.1 proof. Number 3, Jack Daniel's Coy Hill High Proof 2022 up to 155.1 proof. Number 2, Nashville Barrel Company 34-year Canadian Barrel 272 158.64 proof. Number 1, World Whiskey Society Wyatt Earp Hazmat 13-year 164.67 proof. If you love learning about whiskey, vodka, tequila, rum, and the wild stories behind the bottles people argue about online, subscribe to Bottle Rank. I make simple rankings and breakdowns so you know what's actually worth pouring. And tell me the next ranking in the comments. Strongest rum, strongest tequila, or strongest vodka?